Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
All right, Paulie, let's go.
All right, listen, y'all. Just go ahead and let the guest play. Come on, jeez. That's better. Where'd I go?
And we are live. Wow. Same slant, different outlet. Same slant, different outlet. What's going on over there in your world? Happy Wednesday, November 19th. Are you all ready for Thanksgiving? Y'all ready to eat? So let's just say hello to our loving, faithful people on Rumble and on X. As you guys know, we are in YouTube live jail till next Monday, I believe. Let's give you guys a little update. I counterclaimed because it is a strike against my channel. It's totally bogus. So I did a counterclaim. Sin's Corner helped me with the counterclaim, and we put in the counterclaim yesterday. So what up? And even if they deny the claim, I'm gonna appeal again because I can. Because it was total BS as to why. I can understand like taking down the stream, claiming it. It's yours. Hey, no harm, no foul. But a strike on the slant, buddy. So we're here, same slant time, different slant channel. If we were the same time, then we would have started like 2 hours ago. This week's a little crazy. We are planning to, if everything goes right, we can go back to streaming on Monday on YouTube. But we're going to, for sure, Novella Princess, continue on Rumble, because who knows if and when this would ever happen again, which is totally, not cool. But we've had over 90 followers on Rumble. Get on over there so we can, at least build our live streams there, and maybe the live streams will live there. I don't know what to tell you guys. Okay, but that's what's going on. But we're happy you guys are here. Do me a favor. We're also on X. I shared this on X, and I know Novella Princess, you retweeted it. Share it, guys, and let people know we're here. I also put it on our YouTube post tab. So hopefully you guys will get those alerts and come and hang out with me for the next couple of hours. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. So there's two links that I want to highlight, and they're in the chat, in the Rumble chat. but on X, and they're in the video box description, I believe. Listen, if you feel like supporting us, hit us with the PayPal. Hit us with the PayPal today. And Johnny Gonzalez, who's a member of the channel on YouTube, he's been a member for a while now. Sent me this awesome. We sent gifts back and forth. He sent a PayPal contribution of $100 a couple of days ago. And let me tell you guys something, Johnny, you helped saved the week, because we do 3 live streams a week on YouTube, and it is a great way for the channel to make revenue, to engage, to keep the members happy. And it's just like kind of night and day. I'm looking at the numbers, how the channel does without the live streams. Not so good. But not only did Johnny send us $100, it's this so awesome of you. We'll play a thank you in a second, but we got 2 new memberships for people to come, like they say, you know what, we want to support you, Paulie. Bonzo Kilborn, new member at the channel. And let me get the latest person for you guys. The latest person. And I can't tell you how important this is just for me to be able to. It means that I can be here and be live with you guys. And look, we are now at our highest members that we've ever been on YouTube, with 120. Marshall J 2 and Bonzo Kilborn became new members of the channel because of what we're going through, because of kind of the economic limitations. That's it. You guys made our week. The 2 memberships and then that $100. That is beautiful. So if you feel like supporting, throw a PayPal link now. Throw a PayPal what do you call it? Contribution, and I will read also too any messages that you may have. So that's one announcement. The other announcement is holiday gift ideas are here. Holidays are here. Coffee mugs and more. Here's the story, guys. Right? This is the one that I want to spotlight today. Is the kind of the OG Latino slant mug. Go to right now. Go to our shop, our merchandise shop. This one, along with Defund the Thought Police, are our biggest sellers. You can get a $10 early bird, a 10% early bird discount. And if you remember, up to 20%. So it's right there, guys. And this thing's like normally $15. So with the 20% off, that's more than covering your shipping. Great holiday gift ideas. Latino slant coffee mug. I was using the Defund the Thought Police, so I hadn't washed it yet. Sorry, guys, I haven't washed it yet. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay, it's great to see people coming in on Rumble. We have a few of you guys, and on X, we have a few of you guys. Let me open up the X, and I really appreciate that. Let me see. I want to make sure I have a window opened up on X. And thank you guys so much for watching us on X as well. This is, this is crazy, man. Just as far as having to do all this, just good thing I had a Rumble channel with some followers from you guys. You guys are going over there. Good thing I had the X. Yeah, so this is a crazy week, but it's all good. So enough of that. Thank you guys are here. I want to thank Marshall J, Bonzo Kilborn, and of course the great Johnny Gonzalez with a couple of videos of thanks. Be right back. All right, guys, let's get into our first topic. Yesterday morning, I put up a video, some thoughts on Mexico. What is going on? Because I was getting a lot of people uh, on my channel, other channels that I visit, Midnight's Edge. Paulie, what's going on with Mexico? How do you feel about the uprisings, the upheaval in Mexico City? Paulie, what do you think, Paulie? And that's natural, right? We're the Latino slant. I get it. I get it, guys. I get it. And you guys know that I was not born and raised or bred, as they say, in Mexico. Born and bred here in the States. So it is a complete different experience. And we have talked about that Chicano experience quite often. But I said, you know what? If I'm going to do this type of, video, I'm not going to say, well, this is how I feel. Let me talk to some people that live there, some buddies of mine, that, some real Mexicanos. You're not a real person if you're not. They gave me some good, they gave me their thoughts, and we put that in the video, like where I read their comments to me. And it was a good conversation that I shared with you guys because I'm not an authority, right? I'm just kind of going off what you guys are seeing, whether it's television, mainstream access media, or new media. And so new media has been very interesting. Well, this video that we put up has been really, really doing well on our for our channel, and so well it sparked. I mean, I think it's it's going to get up to 800 views as of right now, and for us that's big. 80 comments, right? Some, as with anyone throwing comments at us, there's always going to be people that have some wackadoo things to say. One even calling me a traitor just because I don't think I said I was a real Mexican. I don't. Others on that same tip. So I was just like, listen, enlighten me. I'm a 55-year-old man. Enlighten me as to what I am. So you're never going to make people happy. But there's this new comment that came up. Kind of wild. So I'm like, let's react together. Let's read this together, guys. I understand people and their feelings. But why don't we read it? Because this is a big topic. This is this is not a topic that I take lightly, which is why I asked people that live in Mexico how they feel. Again, right? I think that's the smart thing to do. I've never lived there for extended amount of times. My experience has always been one that of an outsider, a tourist coming down there. Yes, of course, I have an affinity for our shared culture, our shared ethnicity. But I figured the smartest thing to do is, in my case, my family has been in this country for so long that I think I was in my 20s when I was trying to find living relatives that were still in Mexico. Just couldn't do it. My great grandfather I know he was born in Chihuahua, right on the border, but then his son, my great grandfather, he was born in Texas. Anyways, I don't want to bore you with that. Let's get to this gentleman's comment to me. I can tell brown gringos, Hispanics who say they're Mexicans and wave the flag if it's their home country, but lived and grew up in their whole lives in the U.S., that they don't know what it means to be Mexican, what it's like living in Mexico, being in systemic economic poverty. Remember it being peaceful and being able to walk at 1 a.m. and not worry about a thing. Wow. This is a lot just right here, guys. This is a lot just right here. Right? And my immediate response is, whenever you make sweeping generalities, right? All brown, all whatever, you just don't win, man. You don't start off with it being a good argument. You already lost the argument. You already turned people off, right? So, there's so many different arguments here. People saying that they're Mexicans, they wear the flags, but they didn't grow up there their whole lives. I mean, you don't know their experience. Maybe they did grow up half the time in Mexico and then they moved here. We don't know people's stories until we find out. And then they say they don't know what it means to be Mexican, right? So then he goes back to what it's like living in Mexico under systemic economic poverty. Remember being peaceful and being able to walk around 1 a.m. and not worry about a thing. Okay, well, here with systemic economic poverty, listen, I'm not going to argue that. I mean, abject poverty, in Latin America, in these different countries, that's a whole nother thing. That, again, we are blessed to be in the states that even our poverty isn't that type of poverty. So I get it, man. And mind you, right, in my video, I don't talk about any of this stuff. So I don't know where people are kind of like, they're just kind of just vomiting out everything they want to say, because they're very emotional right now. It's like, all right. I think the caveat, it's like I've always said, in particular with this video that I said, is that the reason why we cover it is because I have a connection to the Mexican people. I share the same ethnicity and culture. I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm not from Venezuela. This is the direct line, man, and that's why we even did the video. But again, I talked to people from Mexico, so no one in this video ever tried to perpetrate like they're Mexicanos. So yeah, this guy, and as far as being able to walk at 1 a.m. Listen, man, the major cities, we used to be able to do a lot of that stuff, play outside, play with the kids till late, till at night. I think my generation was the last to be able to do that. So we've experienced that as well, my dude. So he's already starting off hot right there. But let's go on. Only the rich own property or a new car. Our family car in the early 2000s was a 1972 Renault R12 station wagon, because 60s, 80s cars is what people can afford. Okay. All right. Here, I come from the same shared experience, dog. Okay. And what do I mean by that? My mom's family was poor as F. My grandfather, I don't want to compare how poor we are. That's just stupid. But I will just say that, my mom and the generation before knew real poverty for a long time in South Phoenix. So our family car, right? I grew up just with my mom, only child. It was such a big deal when my mom got her Volkswagen hatchback in the 70s. And that was it. That was everything to us. It was everything to us, man. We could travel, we could, go back and forth to see our families. So I'm very much the same experience here. But I didn't have a big family. That was all my mom. My mom sacrificed every ounce of her being for a better life. For her, for myself, as a young boy in the 70s, to my sister, who was doing really well. Now, I will argue with you, that's actually not a bad thing. 70s and 80s cars are built way better than cars nowadays. But let's continue, my dude. As a kid, I used to lie and say I went to a neighbor's house and asked if they could give me or buy me candy, so I could tell my mom that I can eat candy and wasn't hungry. I did that so she could have what I didn't eat because I didn't want her to go hungry. Because what would I do if my mom got sick and lost her? Man, you know what? That is a heartbreaking story. I'm not taking anything away from you. But again, I don't know what this has to do with what I put up, right? But maybe you're leading up to something. The current state of Mexico is the way it is because the culture and society have adopted this standard of living. To be very honest, the Mexican culture is currently dead. Liberals are only making it worse. No one would be surprised if the government would make Catholicism illegal again. Scott, right? You got to remember that they made it illegal like what, 100 years ago? Okay. At least where I live now, I can't relate to any Mexicans here. It's worse than I tried dating in my area because women saw me a drapist or woman beater just because I have traditional values and expectations of a woman. I'm 27, so if there's any age gap, the maximum has been 3-5 years. Okay. I don't know if you're talking about culture shock, like you're culturally different than where you live at now. Dating within itself is a very hard task to do, especially nowadays. So I feel for you, brother, but you know, I didn't talk about dating in this video. Come on, man. The Mexican culture would have to fix, and morals would have to be taught to a new generation for this to change. My cousin got a 15-year-old pregnant and married her. Not that my family refused to help authorities since her parents wanted to charge my cousin. Whoa, it's really sad how downhill morals have gotten. Well, man, I mean, listen, like I said, we got over 80 comments to this video where I talk about, you know, some of the things with what's going on. And we had so many different comments. Just been wild, man. You know, I've been following this closely. I was in Mexico City 2 days before this. Most people I have spoke to said that since the border had been tightly enforced, cartels have lost millions because they can cross people over. They say that this has caused the cartels to start extorting small businesses more intensely. Sometimes they have to pay multiple cartels if they are in a disputed area, while still having to endure warring factions at the same time. See, and I had said, if this is going to happen, right? If this is how I don't deny that that's not happening. That's the time for the Mexican government, federal, statewide, and local, to bring the hammer down on those warring factions, on those cartels. But if they're married to each other, they're all in the same boat, then that's not going to happen. And that's the problem. That's why I say my heart is with the Mexican people, because they are trying to raise a fuss and alarm saying, hey, we are tired of this going on. And because of the recent border enforcements and stricter enforcements, their business has suffered. You know, you can say, "Oh, I don't feel sorry for them." Well, they're going to keep doing what they're going to do, and they're going to find other ways to either get that product over, or to, like what this person was saying, um, tax the local peasants, for lack of better words. So yeah, man, that was it. Grab some water here. It's a pretty intense situation, and one that I will not do videos just based off of a emotion or a tweet I see. Not even a tweet of like so much video, and people protesting and marching. It's just got to be more than that. But listen, that's the current state there. Okay. My mom was born in Guanajuato. She came to the U.S. when she was 10. My abuela, a widow, walked into this country with her $2 and legal papers. My mom was born in Mexico, now feels American with her Mexican heritage. They were so poor in Mexico, the floors were dirt. Yeah, my great grandmother, no, my grandmother had those dirt floors. Beans and tortillas, absolutely. Things got better for them after they moved here to the U.S. We had that poverty. Like that old, because it was definitely more, I want to say, segregated in the Southwest. Yeah. Well, that's just the experience. That's just the way it is. Okay, but let's move on. I mean, thank you guys to anyone. It's a big video on our channel right now, on the YouTube channel. It's really driving a lot of traffic, and it'll probably. Oh, look it just hit over 1,000 views, and for our channel, that's big. Anytime a video can hit over 1,000, that's big. And our shorts are doing incredibly well. And then of course, like the Indian reaction videos, those always I think that's almost 5,000 views, so that's just nuts. But right now, currently performing very well is the Mexico video, Mexico lindo y querido. But thank you, Novella, for those words. Okay, let's go to Bleeding Fool. Chris Brawley and those fools. What up, Chris? Ryan Coogler confirms Black Panther 3. What? Back. What? Yeah, man. There it is. That it's going to be his next pick. His next film. Well, most of the focus over at Marvel Studios is currently on a pair of upcoming Avengers films. Ryan Coogler is ready to return to Wakanda for a third Black Panther film. We've heard of the possibility of the film originally from Denzel Washington, who, while speaking of his potential retirement, mentioned the film as one of his future projects. And then when Nate Moore left Marvel last year, he said he would be back producing the third Black Panther film. Now, Coogler, let's just stop right there really quickly. Right? A pair of upcoming Avenger films. So, if this is Coogler's next film, he's ramping up, and I know he was also working on the X-Files, maybe as an executive producer, showrunner. But if Black Panther 3 is Homeboy's next film, but you got these two major Avenger movies being filmed, getting ready to go for next year, I would love. It would be I want to deduce this. I believe we're gonna see the new Black Panther actor in one of those Avenger films. It only makes sense. And I think it's a smart move. Right? You got the old audience who loved Black Panther 1, Chadwick Boseman. They're going to come and watch. You got the Marvel films audiences. They're going to come and watch. And then you have by, was it 27 or next year? I don't know when this thing is supposed to come out. Let me see. When is Avengers? The Avengers. What is it called? Doomsday. 2026 is going to be December. So in a year and a month. So in 13 months, this movie's going to come out. Now, as you know, they displayed so many cast of characters and actors returning for these films, but there was no T'Challa mentioned at all. If they want to hit for Black Panther 3, this recast should have been done by now. Keep it top secret, and then you shoot some shots, some scenes of T'Challa in the Doomsday stuff, and then he's ready for his own movie. That would be a something. But that's just me. I think it's a smart way to go. When we get into why Hollywood is shrinking and all that stuff, we'll talk about this as well. Because there's many reasons why Hollywood's shrinking, and a big part of it is that Hollywood has stopped entertaining people, the mass audiences, and what they've done is movies for themselves, better for worse. And movies really don't. These movies, even they might be, they might be good and well, like the Hamnets and the One Battle After Another. They're still very, very small audiences compared to the big entertainment tentpole movies. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go back to this. Okay, let's go back to this. Now, Coogler himself said while on stage talking about his film Sinners that Black Panther 3 would be his next movie. There you go. It's probably not, if it's in pre-production now, they've already casted T'Challa. Because if he's saying that's his next film, he's not going to start, pre-production until first quarter next year at the earliest. Maybe they're been in pre-visualization right now. There's probably script. If there's no script, then we're not going to see something for years. But you still can cast T'Challa now for the Avengers. The series kicked off with T'Challa, with Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, king of the African nation of Wakanda, and while he reprised his role in the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, sadly passed away shortly thereafter. The sequel dealt with the character's death and passed the mantle to his sister, Shuri, played by Letitia Wright, who is expected to reprise the role in the upcoming Avengers films. But with talks of potential soft reboot, it's unclear who will be wearing the mask for the third film. Okay. If Marvel knows what's better for them and can read the tea leaves and see everything from AI to the things I'm going to bring up to, I got some exclusive stuff here, guys. That this industry is shrinking at an alarming rate. Melting. They need to recast T'Challa. They need a soft reboot. And they got to figure out a way to where Wakanda Forever didn't happen, and T'Challa is on a new adventure. Be that bold, and that's it. because that's what people want. And if you want to make money, if you want to entertain an audience, you will give them that. You will have a huge audience. Can you imagine? And then there's like so many good actors right now that could slip into that role. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's start getting into our main topics, because even with the Stargate announcement and Wicked for Good, is it any good? This all goes back to this. Here's the big thumbnail umbrella title: Hollywood continues to shrink. I mean, you're coming off of so many horrible weeks at the box office, and you keep saying this is going to be the next big hit, and it's not. Well, this one's going to be the next big hit, and it's not. What's it going to be? Because none of these movies are the next big hit. Besides horror, I think truly the last legit hit, and anime. That's why Chainsaw Man was in my thumbnail. You're gonna have to go way back, and I wouldn't even count Weapons. It was a mild hit, right? Talking F1 and Sinners. Fantastic Four, not a hit. Superman, not a hit. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, you can argue that it made its money, covered its bills in a couple bucks, but didn't crack $1 billion. Minecraft didn't crack $1 billion, just there, but that's a hit. Lilo and Stitch, and then all the anime from Japan and from China, the huge hits. This is terrible for Hollywood, because they're leaving real creativity up to other countries. And good for them, man. Good for them. But we're suffering right now. We're suffering as we have never seen it before. Now, very quietly, Screen Actors Guild, right, has given members and their dues discounts, yes, payment plans, so they can have members in good standing, so they can still make money off of actors, even though the actors aren't working. You still got to pay your dues to be in good standing with the union, with the guild. This guild that doesn't guarantee employment. This guild where you have to make so much money and work so many days to get your Screen Actors Guild health insurance. This guild has done something they've never done before, or if they have, not in my lifetime, 55 years, is give members a payment plan. Because they don't want, they still want that control over the actors. They want that power over the actors. And I couldn't believe it when I heard that they were offering this. And you pay a little now, and you pay a little bit more in 6 months, but you're a member in good standing. You don't have to let your membership slide. I've never seen that before. Never heard of that before. They would come after you and pay your dues. And then if you didn't, and if you didn't pay your dues, right? You lost your membership. And then you had to pay money to get back in the membership, like fines and penalties, man. Screen Actor Guild is a mafia racket. Oof. But because Hollywood is shrinking, less productions, less work, right? they had to be creative. Oh, Samwise Gamgee, who's now the president of Screen Actors Guild. Maybe you give this one a thumbs up. But shoot, our actors aren't working. Well, we're not a traditional union in the sense where we guarantee work. We're just guaranteeing better working conditions and residuals on your past work, which is great. But they're now doing these distance because they have no control over production, over work being produced and created. That's not what Screen Actors Guild does. They got no juice there, right? So, well, let's give our actors a break. They did a strike a couple of years ago. Completely bogus strike. And where are they now, right? Because the business has changed so much and has contracted. Film stars, named television stars, are all going to streaming, have all gone to television roles, to where even the guest starring roles have been taken over, hijacked by that 5%, 5 to 10% of those big time, not really name actors, not celebrities, but definitely not your blue collar, hardworking class actors, that other 80 to 90% that would make up the guild and their dues. And the guild knows this because those roles have dried up for the regular Joe Schmo working actor. It is crazy how bad it is. Because you're seeing now more than ever named stars. There's very few named stars, film stars, that aren't doing television now. And when I say television, streaming, whether it's a limited series, 4 episodes, or 12, or 10, or 8, everyone's doing them now. Now, if everyone's doing them now, think of all those guest starring roles or co-starring roles that are going to movie stars or, actors who did movies. It's terrible. No one counted on that. And this is now going on what? 16 years since we started the binge watch with House of Cards. And now you have binge watching, you have streamers, and you have AI. But you're having these terrible results at the box office month after month this year, where you're thinking name stars will make some money back. It's not happening. Jennifer Lawrence, huge flop. Sydney Sweeney, another huge flop. Austin Butler, if it's not in a Dune movie or he's playing Elvis, flop. Jen Ortega flops. It's not just the actors you don't like. It's a lot of actors. Right? I think right now, Momoa's got cachet where a lot of stuff he's doing that he's in, and you can argue, oh, well, they're IPs or it's, the cars that people are going to. He's still in hits. He's still in hits. Minecraft, Dune, Aquaman, Fast and Furious. I mean, from what I'm hearing, they actually shot more of him as Lobo because it got such a strong reaction. Smart move, by the way. Give me more Momoa. Give me more Lobo. Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Smash Machine? Not so much. Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Jumanji? Yes. Give me more. That's just it, man. Right? So if you're shrinking, if the business is shrinking, even those big name stars, guys, are struggling to get their little passion projects done. They're doing theater. It's kind of just to, you know, kind of flex their acting muscle. But they gotta. If they're part of an IP, you best believe they're running back to their IP. Give me more Jumanjis. Give me more Dooms. What's the next one? Lobo, Supergirl. Let's do it. It'll allow me to do these other little Hawaii. You know, the Chief of War he did. That came and went. Anyone see that? It was good, by the way. I don't know if anyone saw it. Novella Princess says, you know how many big actors were on soap operas first? I'd imagine here in the States, only a few, not a lot. And when I say not a lot, like, you know, and when, okay, so we're saying like recurring characters where they're on it for a few years, or a guest spot. That doesn't really count, right? If you're coming up, my example is a big actor who made their name in movies and then went to TV. Not they started commercials and television and worked their way up. That's not what I'm talking about, because then there's a lot of actors who weren't big actors that did soap operas, that did commercials, that did TV. I'm talking about Leonardo DiCaprio coming and doing a TV show. So that's what I mean by that. Okay. Thank you, Novella Princess, for being here. Much love to you. Okay, we talked about SAG and what they're doing, giving the dollar discounts to their SAG members. They gotta have members, man. They don't want to see they don't want to report 20-30% membership drop off. Are you kidding me? They'd rather do the deal. They'd rather do a deal. Now, top showrunners are getting their projects canceled. Again, this is firsthand information I'm talking about. I cannot give you any names. I cannot say the networks. I cannot say the projects. I know them. I know the people personally. I can tell you one showrunner that I personally know, huge in the business, huge. You have seen this person's work, 100%. I know for a fact you have seen this person's work, huge, successful television shows. Had one set up to go, got canceled. It's no money. Too expensive. Can't afford it right now. Right? And when you're contracting, maybe it's the wrong project at the wrong time and you're so talented, you've done this hit and that's it, but maybe you're not giving us that same hit that you had last time. You want to do something different. The thing that I don't know is what type of project this was. But let me tell you right now, the fact that it was this person's name cachet attached to the project, that it got canceled, wow, it's a huge blow. Now, I'm not happy about it, but that's a huge blow. Over there on the X, 30 of you guys are watching. Hello, Xers. I don't know if that makes sense. Say hello to me also too on Rumble. Novella Princess is there. We got people watching us. Make sure you are following us on X, following us on Rumble. So yeah, man, when I heard that news last 24 hours, I was like, it all makes sense, because it's all, going downhill, how it's trickling down, guys. It's all connected. When you run your businesses and your studios and your films and your projects and your divisions to the ground, all for the sake of, let's say, diversity and maybe a certain uh, social platform, a social approach and agenda that you want, man, that's not going to appeal to the mass market. And while I might even agree with said social points or whatever, and this is show business. So I was pretty shocked by, but not surprised by, SAG quietly giving members due discounts. A top showrunner I know, their project got canceled, and I know for a fact you have seen recently one of their hits. It was one of the biggest television shows in the last 2-3 years. Huge loss, huge. But it's kind of all this, it's all connected. And there's another huge element that's connected, guys. That's on a scroll. I want to scroll. Is this whole idea of now actors who are activists, right? Well, that's nothing new. It never preceded the craft, like you being an actor. Okay. Now, I heard recently a podcast of to me, an up and coming actor with some decent credits, and I know that they're having their biggest year yet. And I've always liked this person's acting. And in the podcast was basically saying, how do you feel now? Are you more politically active because of who you are doing a TV show with? Do you feel more compelled to politically speak out against the current regime here? Are you more emboldened to speak out for those people who don't have voices because you hail from maybe the same part of the country as they do? And boy, you talk about a hook, line, and sinker line of questioning in this podcast. Woo! Even the questions piss me off. Because, like, you assume that because you have a certain surname or you're from a certain, part of the country that, oh, well, you better represent. And you better represent how I want you to represent. Because if you don't represent how I want you to represent, then you ain't represented and you're part of the problem. So that pissed me off because, again, we're talking about a podcast where you're interviewing an actor about their work on this really kind of a big TV show. But you're not asking about their acting merits, what it took to get there, how they flex in the, with their roles. And, you're talking about your political activism. And this actor fell for it. And they said, I feel like it's my job to be the voice of those who don't have a voice. No, that's not your job, dude. Your job, you signed up for it. It's actor, Now, there's a separate thing. If you're an activist, hey, more power to you. But we don't sign up. We don't follow your rallies because you're an activist. We see your shows or support you because you are a great actor. What is going on? And if you feel that passionately, go down that activist route. Some actors have, and they stopped their careers. I respect that. Cool. But you can also monetarily support, fund, donate, give to charity. You can do that this whole time. But that's not enough. It's not enough, right? It's got to be front and center. It's this, and who I'm talking about, it doesn't matter because it's more than one. This is like, it's in vogue now that if you don't speak out, you're the problem. And that's exactly the next thing that this person said. It's like, man, I run into other colleagues, other actors, and they're like, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want, leave me in peace, so to speak. And then this person being in an interview just says, I don't subscribe to that. I'm going to do, that's not me. And think about that for a second. You met and ran into another actor, probably at a hangout or maybe an acting, like some sort of social event, invited as an actress, right? Or maybe they really don't do auditions in person anymore, but for whatever weird reason, you ran into a person in auditions. This doesn't happen anymore. You guys didn't run into each other at a rally. I can guarantee you that. And if that person said, I don't want to rock the boat, they're probably saying, I don't agree with you, dude, but I don't want to get into an argument with you because I fundamentally don't agree with what you're saying. But does that make me a bad person? No. Does that make you a bad person because you're doing your thing? No. I'm here to act. You're the problem now. You're the evil baddie in the room, supporting this regime, this white supremacist, fascistic entity out there. Okay. So that being said, bring it on back to here, guys, right? Follow my line of thinking. Hollywood continues to shrink. Terrible box office. SAG quietly giving membership due discounts. Top showrunners getting projects canceled. Actors lost in activist mire. And you're trying to figure out why this business is collapsing and imploding, contracting, dying, some will say. Tell right there. Because people don't want to hear your activism. People are sick and tired of it. They're gonna go to different countries for their entertainment. Japan, Korea, China, France. There's all these other different countries that are doing great work. But it's like, your job description never says for you to go and speak out for those who don't have a voice. That's actually also too pretty insulting that you think that because someone who is maybe poor, maybe from, not as fortunate as you, that they don't have a voice. They don't have family members. They don't have people that support and love them, that help them out on the daily. They got voices, dude. They got voices. And to define and filter yourself through that lens, it's not your lens. Hear me out, guys. It's Hollywood's lens and how they see you. And let's bring it back here to Latino Slant. It's Hollywood's lens and how they see Latinos. And whether I agree or not, this is not the argument here. That is not the point here. The point is, that is the only lens that they see you in, and that is the only way that you can get ahead is if you agree to all these talking points. That every young Latino actor now is an activist. And the ones that aren't, silence equals so what is it? What do they say? Silence equals complacency. Silence equals that you agree with the people in power. No, sometimes silence just means that you're being respectful, and you don't want to get into an argument because you disagree. But right now, this is not the forum. I'm trying to get this movie role. I'm on set. I got a couple of lines of this new film. I'm trying to impress the producers, the director. So maybe down the line, I can get another job. And by working, I'm taking care of my family. And by taking care of my family, they're going to school. They're being better people in their communities. And voila, one person turns into 20, 30. Those 20, 30 turn into hundreds, and you got all these great community members who aren't silent because they got careers, they got families, they know how to take care of people, all because of a successful person in their family took care of them, inspired them. Do that. But man, a lot of these people are just lost. It's it's funny because in the Mexico argument of the video, I was like, what's funny, guys? All the U.S. Latino celebrities, activists, they haven't said shit about Mexico. They have not said anything about what all these thousands of people are protesting about. Right or wrong? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why? You go on Leguizamo's page, anti-ICE stuff. ICE this, ICE that. Okay. What about Mexico? It's pretty big connection there to what you're talking about. But none of these actor activists, nada. Why not? Oh, because you don't agree, because you actually agree with the current regime in Mexico. Gotcha. You don't hear from the people. You want the people to love and adore this current regime, this current administration, because it aligns with your politics. Even if I agreed with the current administration in Mexico, I'm still going to do a little research. Hey, I know a couple of people that live in Mexico. They're Mexicans. They're born and bred in Mexico. I'm going to ask them, hey, what's going on? Because I want to do a post, I want to use my platform, not for my current TV shows or movies, but, this situation. because I have a platform. And well, you know, they tell me how they feel. It's like, okay, and that's what we put in the video. But then I look at all the Latino, you know, celebrities, activists, whatever. They haven't said anything about Mexico. And this goes back to this whole thing of like, man, we rest way too much on every word, every post from an actor, from a creative, because we like their songs or we like their music. We we just love them. That if they say something, yes, hey, J-Lo said this, so it's got to be true. Ricky Martin said this, so we got to do this. You know, when this actor on this podcast said, you know, it's my job to be a voice for the voiceless, I was like, don't do me any favors. I can speak up for myself. Thank you very much. Why don't you go back, put on that wig, put on your red nose, hit your mark, and say your lines and make me laugh? Because that's kind of insulting, right? Shut up and smile, shut up and dance. But you're basically telling me to shut up and dance while you use me as some sort of, virtue example. No. That's not the relationship here, pal. You're an entertainer. I got my own life. I pay my bills. I do all this stuff. I got my struggles. I got my triumphs. I got it. I got people I look up to. I ask for advice. I got that. Right? I got family members, male and female, younger, older, who I look to and they look to me. That's how it's done. Ain't no voiceless going on here. And in short, man, that's why Hollywood is shrinking. So many variables going on. But there is some light. There is some light. And it's very little, but I think it needs to be pointed out, man. And like when Wednesday season 1 got pointed out, when it got announced and launched, people are apprehensive. Oh, race swap. Luis Guzman, Jen Ortega, what's going on? And then what did they do? What did Jenna do? When they started promoting season 1, hey, you know, I honor the past people that have played Wednesday. I honor the past work of Tim Burton. I honor Christina Ricci. This is what I love. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna show you this. We're gonna take you down even further into Wednesday. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Right? Oh, and then also too, she happens to be of Mexican descent, and we're gonna bring in some of the cultural elements. Boom. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And that is why it is a huge hit. One Piece. You happen to have now 2 Mexican and a Mexican actor, Iñaki Godoy, and now a Mexican-American actor, Xola Maridueña, being major roles in One Piece. That to me is way more pioneering than doing another movie about, undocumented workers. No disrespect, guys, but it's been done to death in Hollywood, and it will continue to be done to death. But for me, the fact that these 2 kids are playing huge roles, leading roles in One Piece, amazing. And now you got this news of Stargate returning, right? Stargate. And this is a TV show that me and my dad have watched, not necessarily together, but we definitely have watched it and talked about it in the past. I told him that Stargate this morning got a green light, and he was excited. And I want to bring this up because this is let's break this down a little bit on how one is supposed to make an announcement. Okay? Open it up. Here we go.
You guys ready?
Yeah, okay, great. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Welcome, everyone. We have big Stargate news to talk about today. My name is Darren Sumner. I've been covering the franchise for more than 25. Cast and crew interview archive.
Hard secret to keep for the last,
All right.
a very hard secret to keep for the last 18 months. But we can announce today that a brand new Stargate series is coming to Prime Video.
What?
Brad, this shouldn't be news to you.
Oh, right. It isn't, but it is great news. Still just hearing it is like, oh my God, they're doing it.
It's so rare for the original creators to get to work on the new version of a show. It's just incredible that, you know, Amazon MGM Studios and Prime Video have come together and not gone in a totally new direction, that they have respected what we have all created. And when I say we all, I don't just mean like Brad, Joe, I mean like all of the cast and crew, all of the writers, and to a large extent the fandom have created.
Did you just hear that? Did you guys just hear that? It's so rare that Hollywood brings back the OGs. Right? But they did. Amazon and MGM, they must have gotten the memo, because bring back the OG and some people that worked on Stargate for years, and he's doing this announcement, and he talks about the fandom. Instant guys, instant excitement from the fans. And I said this to Romy, we got to get you a role on Stargate, because it's going to run for years because of this. This is a guaranteed audience because of the first thing that he said. Let's watch it again. First thing he said.
So rare for the original creators to get to work on the new version of a show. It's just incredible that, you know, Amazon MGM Studios and Prime Video have come together and not gone in a totally new direction.
And not gone in a totally new direction. You know what that means, right? And not gone, for lack of better words, and not gone woke. Lack of better words. Because that's what it's been going on. It's gone down a terrible, terrible path. A lot of these IPs.
And that they have respected what we have all created. And when I say we all, I don't just mean like Brad, Joe, I mean like all of the cast and crew, all of the writers, and to a large extent the fandom have created, and we're honoring that in this new version.
Look at homeboy. Look at homeboy. To a large extent, the fandom. And we are going to honor that. Y'all just won. You all just won. You are going to... There's already going to be Stargate watch parties. Stargate, live nerd talk. I mean, it is going to be nerd up. Just because you guys are saying the right things. Fantastic, guys. That's how you do it. I don't know what else to say. But that's how it's done. That's how it's done. Let's watch some more here.
So for us, we wanted to come here and make the announcement today with you guys because it was our way of just saying like, thank you. Like, thank you for keeping the lights on.
I'm kind of just blown away that I'm in this room with these extraordinary people along with Darren here. And I've got to ask, why us?
You could have asked anybody to be a part of this group.
Well, you guys have been keeping it going. You were such a huge part of the show. It's pre-social media, so Gate World was the place where people would convene where they wanted to talk about the show. Much of the fan community grew out of Gate World.
I mean, I think that's wonderful, man. I don't know Gate World. I don't know, how this all, but listening to this gentleman, it's like you guys are the only ones that were talking about it for years. No one else. We were done with the show. So what a smart anyone with Amazon MGM, anyone that's a part of this, that's listening to me right now, kudos. Job well done. Right? Point to you guys. Now for the next thing, right? But this is nothing now but just reinforcing, rebuilding. It's just reinforcing, celebrating goodwill with your audience. I love it. I love it. And I like Stargate enough that I'm in. I'm going to watch it.
And in the 14 years that the show has been off the air, it's not just you guys, but an incredible fandom of like podcasters and cosplayers and convention goers that have kept the demand for Stargate alive. The endless rewatches, like that has helped. It has helped beyond. I can't even explain to you how much that has helped.
When I first joined the franchise, SG1's fourth season, one of the first things I did was get on social media and I started to interact with the fans. And little did I realize that I would be interacting with them for like 25 years. And I can tell you that in that 25-year span, their enthusiasm for Stargate has never waned. I mean, hardly a day ever went by when they, someone would ask me, when is new Stargate coming out? When are we going to get a new Stargate? And just, the opportunity to finally tell them Stargate is coming is incredible.
Well, I got to say thanks to you, Joe. You've been.
And, these guys are heartfelt. These guys are authentic.
And as much as we've been doing over the last 14, 15 years, you've also been a tireless advocate supporting fans and keeping some hope alive. And it's not just for us, fans who grew up on the original shows. Maybe some of us watched it with our parents or with our kids. But now in those 14 years, there's a whole new crop of fans who have discovered the show on streaming or other places. We have a million questions. Let me ask, though, the one question that I think so many fans are asking and have been kind of worried about as Stargate has moved from one shelf to the other over the years. Is this going to be a reboot?
It is not a reboot. It is not a reboot. It is a brand new chapter. It's its own unique chapter in the Stargate universe. So
look at these dudes reacting to, like, hanging off of every word. It's not a reboot. It's a continuation.
For us, it's incredibly important that obviously everyone watching this Zoom, everyone that's like getting excited about this announcement will love the show. But, the amazing thing about Prime Video is like, it airs everywhere, all around the world. And so for us, it's really important to not only have it so that the fans feel like this is my Stargate, this is the Stargate I've been waiting 14 years for, but that a brand new audience can come in without having to have watched 350 episodes of an amazing show, that they can start with episode 1 of the new Stargate show. And then if they love it, then they can go back and watch everything else.
It's just extraordinary.
I gotta say, man, again, kudos to the people behind this. Kudos to Amazon, too, for being hands-off and letting these homeboys do their thing. We had an executive producer on of the Zorro TV show that came out last year. And unfortunately, I don't think a second season was greenlit. But, man, I really feel they had the same approach and love for the Zorro lore that these guys had. And it's unfortunate because it was a kick-ass season 1 that had such a great potential for season 2. And I guess what I'm saying is that the successes on Amazon have been when Amazon lets their creators that they go and hire lets them cook, and they stay out of the creativity, because then you get Rings of Power and not this. So yeah.
Finally, a show that's been designed for a global audience will be able to be seen simultaneously by a global audience. And you have no idea how excited that makes so many of us out here who didn't get to share it all at the same time when it aired. So the next question I want to know is, are we going to see any familiar faces?
Listen, for another time, most of the world is finding out at the same time as all of these fans. So just give us a beat, but more to come.
Another thing that I'm really excited about.
That's a great question, because it's like that's exactly the second. That's the next thing my dad asked is like, are they bringing back the old cast? What's going on? Who's in it? That's a natural question, man. You know,
with this new show is that we're going to be able to do things that we could not do in 1997 and even beyond that. We're going to be able to do almost anything in terms of visual effects and everything our imagination can come up with now. I won't be the guy in the office saying no to, because we can do stuff now.
I've said on stage at GateCon that Stargate matters. It matters to us. It's not just a show. This is a franchise. This is a world that has brought people together. It's helped people connect with their family, and it's helped us to make new friendships, including with you guys. So the fact that we get more of it is just a joy.
So of course we're making the show for the fans, of course, but we're also making it for people that have never watched Stargate and potentially don't have a sci-fi franchise they even like. I think what's amazing about the Stargate construction is that it takes place today. It takes place on Earth, the Earth that you recognize. But yet this gateway to the stars allows us to tell these amazing stories with epic scope, incredible sense of humor, and again, like a sense of presence in the real world. I think, you know, my wife is not a huge sci-fi fan, and a lot of that is because like she's like, what's this got to do with me? And I think what's great about that is like Stargate tears down those barriers. This is a show for everyone, everywhere.
But I will say this, a lot of speculation about what people want the show to be and what they don't want the show to be. I strongly feel that they will watch this show and say, this is Stargate.
We could talk for hours, and I just want it to be a first taste with you guys to share the excitement. Like, we're back, it's happening, it's going to be incredible, and also like, we'll be in touch. Like, this is not the last you're going to hear from us. We're not going to go away. We're literally still getting all of our socials together, but, you know, we'll be talking semi-regularly.
This has been a group of people who has always been there for the fans and not cut them out of the process. And I'm just so thankful that we don't have to wait another 14 years. You guys take as long as you need. We will be there.
Thank you for bringing this straight to the fans. Thank you for the Stargate that you've made in the past. And I think I can speak for fandom. Thank you for Stargate in the future as well.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We'll talk soon.
all right, guys. Look, that's how you do it. That is a masterclass in relaunching a new show, connecting to your fans, getting the excitement going again. Because honestly, without the original fans, it's going to be very hard to get a new audience. Any new sci-fi show, any new show, to really get a success, to get that audience is very difficult. This is a blueprint on how to be successful with energizing your old fan base and get them talking about it. This was it, man. And Hollywood, this is how you got to be. That's it. Forget the genre. You got to do this with every one of your movies and your television shows. I've been saying this a lot. Hollywood has literally forgotten how to entertain the audience. And that's unfortunate. But yeah, man, that was really cool. That was really cool. And as far as our topics for today, we've got through. Oh, gosh. Wicked for Good. Is it any good? Well, I have not seen it, but our fearless film critic, well, one of them, got a few, on thelatinoslant.com. Thelatinoslant.com. Saw it. And we're going to read his review. For a moment, I was listening to 3 streams at once. Hey, what's happening, Olo? I'm just going to say Olo. The rest is tough, man. Right now, it's tough. Thanks for stopping on by on Rumble. We've had a great stream. I like this. Obviously, we're missing our YouTube stream, but Lord willing, we will be back live next week. Now, going to thelatinoslant.com. The big film, man, coming out this weekend. I think it's out. Previews is Wicked for Good. And according to our writer, Anthony A. Perez, finds beauty in an uneven final chapter. Okay, this is by Anthony A. Perez, who says, I grew up loving The Wizard of Oz, thanks to my mom, even though I made fun of it when she first tried to get me into it. Wicked was something I got introduced in high school. Some of my friends were really into theater and Broadway, and we even did a school production of Wicked. That was my proper introduction to the music. Oh, cool. The characters and the idea that it was a prequel of sorts had remixed the world of Oz. So I have a lot of nostalgia tied to Wicked. It takes me back to being a teenager and seeing it on stage for the first time and being blown away. Okay, well then, listen. I can't think of a bigger... We talk about your fan base. Who's this made for? These movies, these Wicked movies, are made for people like Anthony, right? He grew up with it. He did the musical production in high school. He's a big Wizard of Oz fan. That's it, right? It's not just, girls or, women that are into singing or even your gay crowd. No, it's people that like musical theater, that, that did productions in high school. That's a big audience, guys. And he was a teenager at that point. I get it. So if anyone is going to be a little, I don't want to say biased, but more open to a Wicked 2, it's going to be Anthony. Wicked for Good continues the adaptation of the iconic Broadway musical and picks up directly after the cliffhanger ending of Wicked Part 1. As Oz plunges deeper into political chaos, Elphaba's reputation is pushed even further by the wizard's regime. Glinda rises in public influence and has to reckon with the cost of her ambition. Relationships fracture, alliances shift, and the truth behind Elphaba's fate moves into focus as the story heads towards the legendary For Good finale. I was highly anticipating this film, and I'm happy to say I really enjoyed Wicked for Good. I went in with a lot of excitement because of my attachment to the story and the nostalgia, but also because I loved the first film. There's a lot of people that love the first film, guys. And Wicked is a massive musical. Massive Broadway hit. It was number 3 on my favorite films of the year last year's list, which is saying something because I watched a few hundred movies every year. I really hope that they would stick the landing. To be transparent, I do have a few gripes, and some of them come from worries I had going in that did up end being true for me. But I still want to start off with the positives. If you're excited for this movie, there's a lot here to enjoy. I'm going to critique it because I love breaking things down in this spoiler-free. But this is spoiler-free. If you've seen the stage play, you already know the general beats. One of the concerns I had going in is that I always felt that the first half of Wicked had the stronger story beats, characters, and songs. The entirety of the stage play is about as long as the first movie, so hearing that they would split it into 2 movies made me nervous. I think the first movie handled that first half really well and ended exactly where the intermission would be. I was curious to see how they would handle the latter half. There are a few issues with the story. Starting right in the middle does make the beginning of this film feel like they're trying to reset the board and get things moving quickly. But despite that, Wicked for Good still has all the positives in the first film, especially with the cast. Arrivo and Grande, great again. Their chemistry, their charm, their emotional scenes all land. You can tell how connected they are, and that all carries into the performances that are really effective that way. The rest of the cast is strong. Bailey, a huge highlight. Goldblum brings his usual charm, leading into a sleazy nature of the wizard. Michelle Yeoh is great as always. Rest of the ensemble really shows up. The production is also fantastic. Just like the first film, the sets, costumes, hair, makeup, and CGI create a vibrant and colorful world. My only gripe is that the same green screen moments are more obvious here. Doesn't ruin anything, but a few shots definitely look like the actors are just standing in front of a green screen. Okay, so look, he's obviously very positive. You can catch this review on thelatinoslant.com. But he's saying that it's hard to pick up where part one ended, and there's already kind of like this overproduction of green screen and CGI. So there you go. Is that going to bother you, right? Some people doesn't. Obviously, it didn't bother him enough to be that. The music handled well, and there are a few songs added that aren't in the stage play, so fans should expect some changes. I thought the new songs were solid. Vocally, everyone delivers. Arrivo, Grande, Bailey all sound incredible. Goldblum has more fun, cutesy style of singing compared to the others, but it still works for his character. Story-wise, the film leans into the emotional core of Wicked. It works. The latter half of the Wicked story has some of the most impactful moments, and this film plays into that. When writing this strong and performances are full force and emotional and gripping. But the biggest weakness here are the same weaknesses many Part 2 movies have. It does not really feel like it's its own standalone film. That is big. That is big. It feels more like the end of a larger movie. The beginning can feel a bit choppy and scattered because they're trying to jump in between characters and get everything set up for the finale. That made me wonder if this would have worked better just as a long film instead of two. Of course, but this is, this is the corporate studio getting in there. Hey, we're going to make more money over 2 years. Chop it up in two. A three-hour movie that combined both halves might have been more cohesive. Absolutely. Another big element is how the film overlaps with Wizard of Oz storyline. Ooh. See, I didn't see the first Wicked. I still haven't seen it. I'm just not compelled to check it out. I was excited to see how they would incorporate Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Cowardly Lion. Similar to the play, it does feel like they expect you to already know the Wizard of Oz. You only get the Cliff Note moments of Dorothy's story. Most of the time, Dorothy is just shown from behind. But if you haven't seen the Wizard of Oz, I think there is a bit of a disconnect. They could have expanded that part in the story more in the film adaptation. I think it was a missed opportunity. So that's kind of interesting, right? That's kind of interesting. And I'm going to tell you guys right now that usually is the case when you break a short story, a quicker story, and you break it up into two and you have to add filler. You usually add the wrong filler. It's like, you created a second part of The Hobbit, but you didn't add this element, and you went off this other storyline that was ridiculous. So here it's like, all right, you got a part two. You can now expound a little bit more on Dorothy, but you don't, and you don't even show her. And that is a good example of just creative fluff. It becomes content, and that's unfortunate. And that turns off more people than others. So who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows if it's going to be... I suspect it's going to be a really good hit. It all depends on the word of mouth, families, Thanksgiving. Still, even with those issues, Wicked is for good, is fun, emotional, and visually beautiful. The cast is great. The musical numbers work. There are sweet romantic moments. The changes from the stage play won't make purists angry and still keep the heart of the Wicked intact. I didn't love it as much as the first film, which I think is nearly perfect, but I found the ending of this one touching and satisfying. The only really disjointed parts are the beginning. Overall, I think most fans will walk away very happy. If you loved Wicked and just want to enjoy the world, the music, and these characters on screen, you'll have a great time. If you tend to analyze story structure or pacing like I do, you might walk away thinking the first film is stronger. But this is a very good sequel with a great ending. Rating 8 out of 10. Thank you, Anthony A. Perez. He gave it an 8 out of 10 on our latinoslant.com. We have 5 film critics in standing at our site, including Rosa Para, Alfredo Galindo, D the Movie Man, Sin's Corner. Who else am I missing? And Anthony. Yeah, that's 5. That's 5. I can count. Alfredo Galindo. Great write-up. I can tell you guys right now, Rosa Para enjoyed it less than Anthony. That's just how it is sometimes. You know, you're just gonna, at the end of the day, if you're a fan of the first movie and a fan of the musical, you're probably gonna like it. But maybe you won't, because you're like, well, it's too much fluff. But maybe you'll get to well, I lost my train of thought. I want to bring up Rosa's take on this. I think it'll be good. She's another one of our writers, and I want you to get to hear her thoughts on Wicked. She saw it 3 days ago, and then we'll get to some of your comments. Oh, this is Rosa Para on X. Wicked for Good is fine. Incredible costumes, production design, and visually spectacular. Arrivo and Grande are wonderful pair, per usual. Wonderful per usual. However, it felt like it was working overtime to get to that finish line. It has its moments, but nothing stayed with me. Wow. That's from Rosa. And look, man, you know, everyone's got their opinions. But I wanted to share with you 2 different opinions from our writers, because that's at the end of the day, you know, that's all it is. 2 different opinions from our writers. So take it for what it is. I think it's going to be a big hit. I think Zootopia 2 will be massive. I think it'll be a healthy bounce back for the box office. We'll see if it's enough, you know, but it's been such a terrible time at the box office that these should do really well. I know Zootopia is pre-selling very well, but you just never know, man. I think the calendar they have that going for them, right? When I say calendar, going into the holiday week, a lot of people start having the week off, right? And it's a family film, so to speak, because families are looking when they reunite together in different cities, they're looking for a movie that they can all go watch. And you got little ones, you're going to check out Zootopia first. You know? But you got Wicked, Zootopia, Avatar coming out. And you got Sisu coming out in December. But let's see where we're at on a Wednesday with the box office. This is the domestic chart for yesterday. When did I go see? Did I go yesterday? Gosh, it's kind of a blur, guys. When I went to go see Chainsaw Man. Check out that review I did on Chainsaw Man on the YouTube channel. But here are the numbers for Tuesday. You know, they have the discount Tuesdays. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, up 75%. Did very good. 2.5. Running Man, up 95%, 1.9. Predator's Badline, 1.3. Sarah's Oil, Up 103%. That's impressive. Nuremberg, Regretting You, Keeper, Begonia, Black Phone 2, Chainsaw Man at number 10. Yeah, guys. This is the box office and Hollywood movies. They're getting a reset. Thank God, with Wicked and Zootopia coming out, because this is pretty bad. You have a lot of smaller films that, just aren't. I'm sure they're great. I know I'm hearing good things about Sarah's Oil, and that's great that it's out. But you need, especially during this time, you need the big movies to perform big. And let's be honest, guys, The Running Man performed and is performing incredibly bad. And you can't have these movies perform incredibly bad during these holiday seasons, man. This was supposed to kick off the fall. That's what they keep telling me. It's only made 30 million worldwide. Not good, guys. Not good. Not good at all. They're trying to make Glen Powell a box office name. It's very difficult to do, guys. And, so that was a fail. Predator's Badland is faring better, right? 138 million worldwide. So it's made its money back as far as its production. It still has a long ways to go as far as actually turning a profit. Let me see. Its budget was 105 million. Okay. To be profitable, it would likely need to earn between 210 and 262 globally, which would include marketing costs. At 137, it's pretty unlikely the only thing it has going for it is the calendar. So there's going to be a lot of people that will go see this the next week, the holiday week, because they haven't seen it yet. And then maybe they'll check out Wicked first, Zootopia. Oh, let's go see Predators now. Perfect. So for it to have a chance at being profitable, which means 210 million, the best thing it has going for it is the calendar going into Thanksgiving week. It's possible. I'm not going to lie. But, and you've been already opened in China, 12 million bucks in China. That's pretty good. So you're going to have to keep performing. I don't know. 4 million in Mexico. That's really good. But at the end of the day, let's go to Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is worldwide now at this point 61 million. I think it's because people like magic, like tricks, like to figure it out with them. The budget is around 90 million. Okay. Okay, so the budget for Now You See Me, Now You Don't 3 was approximately 90 million production budget. Therefore, the film likely needs to earn around 180 million to 270 million worldwide to break even and start making a profit. To achieve a profit, the film generally needs to grow significantly more than its production budget. Okay. So it's 61 million. And you're gonna lose more theaters because of the movies coming in. It needs to more than it needs to double just to break even. It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And this is the number one movie right now in the box office. Again, I think these top movies, guys, not so much Running Man. I think Running Man's gonna suffer this holiday season, right? This Thanksgiving season. I think what they call them, the holdovers. There's two movies that are gonna do very well. The holdover movies. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and Predators. Okay, why? Because people know Predators, the IP. They know the monsters. They want to see monsters, and they know the magic and the fun comedy and caper of Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That will be second or third on their list after Wicked for Good and after Zootopia 2. So, if anyone's going to benefit from this Thanksgiving week, it's going to be in these movies. Will it be enough to make profit? I don't think so, guys. That's a tough hill to climb because it was so expensive to make and the budget. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and Predators Badlands. Oof. Oof. But you never know, man. And listen, with the calendar, the way the calendar is coming out, right? I mean, starting tomorrow night and then going for a good 7, 8, 9, 10 to 11 days, you got family time. You got family time. So the calendar is on their side. Their calendar is on their side. Okay, so let's say hello to some great people in the Rumble chat who've been with us the entire time. Novella Princess, thank you so much. Kudos, Olo, for making an effort to be here. Listen to you, but doing chores. Got company over for movie. Oh, what's movie night? We're gonna do movie night. We're doing movie night tonight. I don't remember. But what are you guys watching, Olo, tonight? I always love that. So we're having company over a movie night. Ooh, that's so much fun. I love that. I love that. Let me check the X and my emails and see if anything news come on down as far as I want to thank all the new followers on Rumble. We're now up to 92 followers. If we get to 100, I think that's like we unlock that next level. We watched Ringu last time, so she wants me to see the American remake. Oh, The Ring. Oh, The Ring's good, man. The Ring is good. Okay, why don't we do a slant scroll of X and just whatever pops up, we'll comment or not. Let's go to our homepage. And then we'll just, we'll take it from there. We usually follow friends and all that good stuff. Hey, guys, want to remind you to help support the channel. We've always had a PayPal. So if you're watching this live or on the replay, there's the PayPal link, and we really appreciate that. On YouTube also too, guys. We appreciate over the 120 members of our YouTube channel. You guys are beautiful. And again, thank you to Johnny Gonzalez for the $100 PayPal contribution. Fantastic. But let's get into a little slant scrolling. Y'all know you guys love to do that. And see if there's any controversies or any craziness happening. There's always something crazy happening over here on the X. You feel me? On the X. What do we got? Maria with T and Telly says, hey, in case you missed it, I did spotlight a video for Lou Diamond Phillips' artist wife. Oh, for his book. Okay, so this is Lou Diamond Phillips' wife that she spotlighted. Nice. And there's our buddy, and hello, Maria with T and Telly. There's our buddy, Exhibitor Relations. $1 million club discount Tuesday. Now you see me, now you don't. 2.5. The Running Man 1.9. Predator 1.3. There you go. We covered it too, Jeff. Thanks for that. We covered that too. Okay, let's keep going. Look at that. Geeks and Gamers, Amazon announces new Stargate series. See, listen, you're going to have a lot of people in your corner because of the way you guys rolled this out. If Amazon... Okay, Mr. Ticklechunk, who's a buddy of ours, if Amazon is simply producing this, it has the potential to be amazing while other franchises like Star Trek and Star Wars lay in the ashes. So I guess he's talking about Stargate. And I said that. If they let that creative team cook, stay out of the kitchen, they got a shot. I'm not going to read that one. So it begins from Robert Meyer Burnett. This is the latest. Saudi Arabia leads efforts to pour $900 million into Hollywood AI firm, giving Kingdom a foothold in future entertainment. Luma AI will also have access to giant Saudi data center. Yikes. It's one of my favorite guys on the X, Hideo Kojima. He's always putting up his movie reviews. I love him. Absolutely love him. People talking about Stargate. And there's our buddy Scribe talking about Stranger. Was never a Stranger Things fan. I try to get into Stranger Things. It just never did it for me, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Never did it for me. I know. I'm weird. I'm weird like that. But you know, it's just taste. It doesn't mean it's terrible. It's just taste. One person's taste. One person who happened to have a big mouth. Wicked for Good. Reviews changed. Its Oscar prospects for good. Ooh, have. From Matt Negla from Next Best Picture. Yeah. Because it's not being reviewed like... It had to have been better than the first one to have a shot at Best Picture. It's not going to win Best Picture. There's no way. There's no way. Hey, yo, happy first birthday. There's a little slice of magic. This was released on this date. Enjoy the behind the scenes, edited by CP, and then come together. Coldplay, some singing Ralph Macchio. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. Force of Light Entertainment. Define L's. People sharing, resharing. People getting political. That Star Wars girl. Mattel just laid off more than 200 people right before the holidays. That's over 400 this year. Oh, that's terrible. timing. No, they didn't want to. That means they don't have to give them no holiday bonuses, all that stuff. Maybe they'll give them a severance package. Oof, that's rough, man. That's rough. Okay, some people. Nominees for best film editing. Okay, this is the Astro Awards. I guess those nominees for the Astro Awards went out. Right, One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Sinners, Wicked for Good, Sentimental Value. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of these films. I'm gonna go with Sinners. You know what I mean? But that's just because I haven't seen Marty. I'm gonna see Marty Supreme, and probably Sentimental Value. Okay. Okay, I see that Supergirl is trending. Let's pop on over to that. Ooh, what? Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. A little bit of breaking news here, guys. This is interesting. Trailer set to play in front of Avatar, Fire and Ash, which comes out December 19th, I believe. Supergirl, Avengers Doomsday, live action Cars remake, The Odyssey. Are you excited? Source Collider. Whoa. Oh. That is very interesting. And that is that's a good shape up for 2026. I'd imagine that it is going to be for Supergirl, for Avengers. I mean, these are going to be teasers, but still, hey, to see that in front of on a big screen, that's pretty exciting. I got to tell you, we're going December 1st, an early press screening of Avatar to see for me and Rosa Parra, we're going. But I don't think they're going to have trailers, man. So we're missing out on that. But I don't want to see these trailers on my desktop. I want to see them in a theater. That's good news. That's the source is the Collider. Okay. I guess that's probably why Supergirl is trending. Supergirl appears on the CCXP 25 schedule. I think we're getting a trailer drop. Oh yeah. When does that one happen in Brazil? Yeah, so it's trend basically, the trailer news. All right. Miles is trending. Snyderverse is trending. I mean, I think I'm good with the Snyderverse. All right, I think we're good. Olo says, can't believe I only just now made the connection with the ZZ Top song. Heard it on the X, an anthem to pirate radio. Oh, heard it on the X. You know what? We are on Rumble. We can play Heard It on the X. So let's bring up that song. Heard It on the X. ZZ Top. There you go. We got a remastered version here. Heard it on the X by ZZ Top. I mean, we're on Rumble and X, you know, same YouTube. So let's take. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it on the X. Ah, fun. Fun. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it on the X. All right, we're gonna be wrapping up. So listen, guys. I may go live Friday, but you best believe we're going to be live Monday, regular schedule. And we're gonna start adding Rumble lives and posting Rumble videos. Just gotta do it. Well, you guys are being wonderful. Thank you guys. Make sure that you are following us on Rumble, X, and yes, even on YouTube. And it's good to make this effort. Good to hang out with Olo and Novella. There's other people here. Nice crowd on X and on Rumble. So just do me a favor, guys. Stay safe out there wherever you're at. Keep that San Fuerte really fast. Happy to see you get the channel going on here. Repost this for my meager audience. Let's pump these numbers up. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Okay, be good, everybody. We'll see you soon. Stay in touch.